Alongside Katie Windham, I am Austin Hannon. This is Bama Central's Just a Minute. Katie, we're 2 days away now from Alabama's first game of the season against Middle Tennessee State. There's been so much talk all spring, summer, fall about who's the quarterback going to be. And in just about 48 hours, we're going to find out that answer, at least for the time being. So when we walk into the press box on Saturday night, Katie, or I guess Saturday afternoon, and when you flip over that flip card, who will be on that number one line on Alabama's quarterback depth chart?
Well, I don't think that's necessarily going to give us an answer because I'm expecting that depth chart is still going to say or, even though the game will literally be in, hours at that point. So I think it's going to say Jalen Milroe or Ty Simpson at QB1. But I think that Jalen Milroe will be the starter on Saturday night. I don't think that's like a super hot take at this point. I think that's pretty much the general consensus. Now, I think maybe the beginning of the offseason, it wouldn't have been such a surefire consensus, but I think kind of as things have progressed and gone on through the summer and fall, that's what people think. Now the question is, Saban has made it very clear. He won't say much about the quarterbacks, but one thing he said about a million times at this point is that whoever starts week one doesn't mean they'll be the starter all season. So I think Jalen Milroe will start, but I think he'll have to play well in order to keep that starting job all year. And I think really the question is going to be on Saturday, how much will Alabama switch between quarterbacks? Will it be Milroe's, game until Alabama has a big lead and then you put it back up in? Will he play the first half, Ty Simpson the second? Will they rotate quarters? I personally think Alabama's going to let Milroe ride for a little bit because of the big game they have coming up next week and let him get as many reps as possible. But that's going to be the main thing. I know that you're going to be following on Saturday, but who do you think?
Yeah, I think what you said was kind of spot on. I think we're all expecting Jalen Milroe to start the game. I think the most effective way to do this would be in and out every drive, and that includes Tyler Buchner. I think he still deserves a chance at getting an opportunity to show what he can do on the field against a real team. I think everybody's kind of realized that it's down to Milroe and Simpson, but he's got D1 Notre Dame experience. And that's something that Alabama wanted. There's a reason they went and got him in the portal. So I think you're going to see him a little bit on Saturday too. I would be a little disappointed if they decided to go with just, Milroe until the game's a 30-point game and then try the other guys, just because I don't think that's really giving them a fair shot at, getting a chance against the first teamers on the other team. And when there's pressure on them, when it's still a close game. So I think that's the way they should handle it. Obviously, Saban was asked about that, and he didn't really say that there was any kind of plan. It was just going to be, we're going to put a guy out there and kind of go from there, and the season starts. So I think it will be Milroe. I think everybody will probably look good that goes into the game on Saturday. I've been saying that to everybody. It's Middle Tennessee State. Their defense is not great. They're more of an offensive team. So this shouldn't be too big of a challenge, hopefully, if you're an Alabama fan for these quarterbacks. So I think the big challenge comes next week, and who's going to start that game. If it's still Milroe, then what if Milroe struggles in the beginning and Alabama goes down a couple scores and then Brian Denny's silent and somebody else has to go in there and save the day? Who knows? Maybe Milroe takes it on Saturday and never gives it up. So it's going to be Milroe on Saturday, but I think it's still, like you said, and like Saban has said so many times, including once more this morning on the Cole and Kubelik show, it's not over. It's not over, and it's going to continue into next week and maybe even into South Florida when Alabama goes to Tampa to play USF. We'll have to see. But everybody that's watching this, you're going to find out on Saturday night who's Alabama's starting quarterback, at least for week one, and then we'll go from there. So for Katie Windham, I'm Austin Hannon. This has been Bama Central's Just a Minute. Thank you so much for watching.